Something very interesting is happening at Miami Dolphins training camp, and I honestly don't think many fans expected some of these names to become the biggest stories this early. After just 1 week of practices, a few players are already separating themselves from everyone else, and if what we're seeing continues, this team could look very different by the time week 1 arrives. That's why I want to know your opinion right now. Which player has impressed you the most so far? Is it Malik Washington, Chop Robinson, Malik Willis, or someone else? Leave your answer in the comments because I really want to know what Dolphins Nation is thinking. And if you've been supporting the Miami Dolphins for more than 15 years, hit that like button with pride and show everyone that you're one of the loyal fans who has stayed with this team through every high and every low. Now let's get straight to it, because one player, in particular, is making a lot of people rethink what this offense could look like this season, and that player is Malik Washington. The first week of Miami Dolphins training camp is officially in the books, and even though there was an off day from public practice, there is already plenty to talk about. Some players have done exactly what fans expected, while others have completely changed the outlook of their position groups with the way they have performed early in camp. It is still very early, and nobody is handing out starting jobs after 1 week, but first impressions matter. Right now, there are several players making a strong case that they deserve much bigger roles once the regular season begins. If there has been one offensive player creating the most excitement so far, it has been Malik Washington. Entering training camp, there were questions about where he fit on the roster. Some people believed there was even a chance he could be fighting just to make the team, while others believed he had enough talent to become an important piece of the offense. Through the first week of camp, he has looked like much more than just a roster player. He has looked like the Dolphins' best wide receiver. Washington has consistently found ways to separate from defenders and has developed a noticeable connection with quarterback Malik Willis. That chemistry has been impossible to ignore. One of the biggest moments came when Willis connected with Washington on 2 explosive completions that totaled more than 100 yards. One was a deep crossing route that went for around 60 yards, and another was a 45-yard completion along the sideline. Those are exactly the types of explosive plays Miami wants to build its offense around. What makes Washington even more valuable is his versatility. He can line up outside, work from the slot, move around before the snap, and become the type of player coaches find creative ways to get the football. Based on everything that has happened during the opening week of camp, it is hard to argue that anyone has outperformed him among the receivers. On the defensive side of the ball, Chop Robinson has been every bit as impressive. The young edge rusher has taken another step forward and has consistently stood out during multiple practices. His performance has not been based on one big play or one lucky rep. It has been a steady string of winning against defensive linemen and creating pressure. One of the biggest reasons for that improvement appears to be his physical development. Robinson has reportedly added around 10 pounds since the end of last season, and that added strength has shown up every day. He has been more powerful rushing the passer while also looking much stronger defending the run. There were multiple examples of his dominance during practice. After Austin Jackson left one session, Charlie Heck stepped in and Robinson immediately won consecutive reps that resulted in what would have been sacks. He also powered through Patrick Paul with an impressive bull rush, driving him backward and collapsing the pocket around Malik Willis. Those are not easy wins against big offensive linemen, making Robinson's performances even more encouraging. If Robinson continues building on this momentum, Miami could have one of the defense's most dangerous young pass rushers taking another leap this season. Speaking of Malik Willis, it would be impossible to discuss training camp without mentioning his performance. He has been one of the biggest stories of camp thanks to his ability to make explosive plays while looking increasingly comfortable in the offense. The biggest highlight came during his outstanding practice that featured multiple deep completions, especially those connections with Malik Washington. But his success has gone beyond simply throwing long passes. He has shown mobility inside and outside the pocket, adjusted his arm angles to create throwing lanes, and looked increasingly confident running the offense. Throughout camp, Willis has continued to improve day after day. His arm strength stands out immediately, and his athletic ability allows him to create when plays break down. Those physical traits have generated excitement because they give Miami a quarterback capable of stretching defenses both through the air and with his movement. While consistency will always be the biggest test for any quarterback, the early signs have been extremely positive. The connection between Willis and several young receivers has quickly become one of the most interesting developments of training camp. Another young defender quietly making an impact is rookie edge rusher Trey Moore. He may not have received as much attention as some of the other newcomers, but his versatility has become one of his biggest strengths. Moore has shown he can rush the quarterback, hold the edge against the run, and even drop into coverage when needed. That flexibility makes him valuable because he can fit into different defensive packages without becoming predictable. One of his better practice sessions featured multiple strong run defense reps where he forced running plays back inside and also made tackles himself. While he may begin the season behind more established edge rushers, his ability to contribute in multiple situations could earn him meaningful playing time much sooner than expected. Another encouraging development has come along the offensive line with Jonah Savaiania. Last season brought plenty of struggles, but the early reports from this year's training camp have been much more positive. The move from left guard to right guard appears to have given him a fresh start. Coaches have expressed confidence in the progress he has made, and Savaiania himself has spoken about feeling much more comfortable at his current position. Instead of hearing negative reports throughout camp, observers have highlighted solid pass protection and a stronger anchor against defenders. That does not guarantee success once real games begin, but it is certainly a much better starting point than what surrounded him during his first training camp. The receiver room has featured another impressive young player in Caleb Douglas. Opinions were mixed when Miami selected him, but early practices have shown why the coaching staff believed in his potential. Douglas has made difficult contested catches, created several big plays, and earned meaningful opportunities alongside the first-team offense. Like any young receiver, he has experienced some drops, but his overall body of work has been impressive enough to place him among the top performers of camp. Right now, it would not be surprising to see Douglas continue working as the primary X receiver, with Malik Washington handling the Z position. Kevin Coleman Jr. has also performed well and appears to be building a strong case for significant work in the slot. That trio has generated considerable excitement because each player offers a different skill set. Washington brings versatility and explosiveness, Douglas provides size and physicality, while Coleman adds quickness and playmaking ability inside. It is only 1 week of camp, but this young receiving group has already exceeded many early expectations. On defense, Juju Brents has quietly become one of the most consistent performers. His size, length, and physical style have shown up repeatedly during practice, especially when breaking up passes against opposing receivers. He has consistently challenged receivers at the catch point and has made life difficult for several offensive players during team drills. Those performances have strengthened the belief that Brents could play a major role in Miami's secondary this season. His early success continues building on the solid performances he previously delivered, and if this trajectory continues, the Dolphins could have another dependable cornerback emerging as an important piece of the defense. The final standout from the opening week is tight end Ben Sims. When he arrived, many viewed him primarily as a blocking tight end, but he has done much more than that throughout camp. Sims has developed chemistry with Malik Willis, especially in red zone situations where his size and catch radius have made him an attractive target. He has caught touchdown